This is a 2020 Canada Goose. It's 2 troy ounces of almost pure silver. These were struck to celebrate the 100th birthday of artist Alex Colville. He designed a similar looking coin in 1967, referred to as the Centennial Dollar, as it was minted to celebrate the Canadian centenary. Unfortunately, this particular specimen has been tarnished due to improper storage. I don't know exactly what happened to it, but I believe it to have just been stuffed in a flip and was exposed to air, which had some contaminant in it. I'm actually not sure when I got it either, but it's been entered into my inventory system as having been obtained in late 2021 for around $60. As the name suggests, this coin features a Canada Goose in flight on the obverse, along with some basic information about it, like the purity and weight. And on the reverse is a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, as well as the face value of 10 Canadian dollars in the strike year of 2020. Now, most bullion coins are only 1 troy ounce. As this guy is 2 troy ounces, the Royal Canadian Mint took the somewhat funny approach of just doubling the thickness of the standard 1 ounce silver maple leaf. I think they did this so that the coin could still fit in a standard mint tube. This extra heft and volume, compared to the standard one, would cost them some practicality points if this coin was meant for circulation, but it's not, it's bullion, so I'm not going to take any points off. Rather, I'll give them points for maintaining compatibility with standard storage methods. The quality of the strike and design on both sides is quite nice. The Royal Canadian Mint has a knack for putting out very nice coins, and this is no exception. I'm sure the small details aren't going to come out very well with this camera, but there's a lot of detail on the goose's wing and head. The portrait of the Queen on the reverse, similarly, is both simplistic, but not basic, and very well executed. There's a decent amount of contrast between elements, which isn't the case on a lot of coins I've seen from other mints. I also appreciate these vertical lines you can see in the background. I think it adds a very classy touch to an already classy design. Another thing of note is the security feature on the coin, a laser-etched leaf with a year code present inside of it. This is something the RCM has done on most of their modern bullion releases. The face value of the goose is 10 Canadian dollars. This is actually a pretty high value for silver bullion. The silver maple leaf and silver eagle are both only given a face value of $1 in their respective currencies. The Britannia is slightly higher at £2. Of course, silver has recently been floating around $30 per ounce, so none of these are anywhere near reflective of the actual value of the bullion. As I mentioned earlier, I obtained this for about $60 in late 2021. Silver prices were floating around $25 an ounce back then, which means I paid $5 or so over spot per ounce. A snapshot from the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine shows a listed price of about $63 on AppMex's website in 2021, or about $7 over spot per ounce, which is in line with other Canadian releases. Numista shows a street price of around $85 for one in good condition. All in all, a decent deal for sovereign silver, and the face value is closer to the actual bullion value than any other coin in my collection. I'm going to be assigning each coin a score based on a few criteria which fall into 2 overarching categories. This system is called the purple score. In the weekend category, up first is styling. The Centennial Dollar is an iconic design, and this is a great reproduction of it. It gets a 7 out of 10. Next is handling. It feels nice in the hand with its extra weight without being cumbersome like many larger releases, earning an easy 8 out of 10. As for the cool factor, I think it's up there, but there's plenty cooler, so it only gets a 6 out of 10. Unfortunately, it has pretty minimal importance, only being a throwback rather than something significant on its own. 4 out of 10, and only because of the interesting mix of face value and weight. On to the daily category. Practicality-wise, it's pretty good. It gets an 8 out of 10 thanks to the diameter of the coin being the same as a Canadian 1 ounce release, which allows it to neatly fit in the same tubes and holders. As this is a bullion release, I'm not going to be harsh on it for not easily fitting into a wallet or a coin pouch. The laser-etched maple leaf is a pretty good security feature, but even at the time, the Royal Canadian Mint had better. As such, it gets a 6 out of 10. As usual from the RCM, it's a high-quality strike of a high-quality design, but they aren't flexing like they do with their other releases. 8 out of 10. Purple score values are calculated based on the current asking price and the actual bullion or face value of a coin. This one is about $62 of silver, going for about $85 on the street, which nets at a score of about 7 out of 10. Adding all of this up, the 2020 Canada Goose gets a 25 out of 40 in the weekend category and a 29 out of 40 in the daily category. This is a 54 out of 80 composite score, or a final score of about 68%. Is this good? Is this bad? Who knows? We'll have to find out later. Thank you for watching.